Alright, welcome back to Give Chance's Farm. Today we're out here and we're going to show you the new baby heifer calf that we had this morning. Chocolate finally had her calf. It was a crazy day around here this morning. We had some things go on that took our attention away from being out here with them. So we didn't get to witness it, but when I got out here to see him after everything settled down, the baby was still wet and she was still cleaning it up, so it wasn't hadn't been born very long prior to us coming out here. So right now we're about 6 or so hours afterwards, at least. Time kind of got away from me today, so you have to forgive me. But there is Chocolate and her little heifer calf. I did get a birth weight on her. She weighed 60 pounds. And that was, like I said, within about an hour of us finding her is when the weight was. So she was still wet when I picked her up to weigh her. So, but as the rest of the herd goes, everybody's doing good, and with all the calves in the past, anything that comes out of Chocolate belongs to Michaela's show side, and it's kind of a pretty big deal for us to have another heifer calf out of her, because Michaela's kind of been on a
since
bull calf streak.
Since Cheyenne, which was Chocolate's first baby, was the only heifer.
The only heifer out of Chocolate was Michaela's favorite, which is Cheyenne. That's because that was her first show calf, clear back when she was in mini 4-H. So,
and also
they still have a real close bond. So I'm expecting to probably not be able to sell this one off either, but we'll see how it goes. I know how this one gets attached to animals and doesn't usually let me move them on too easily, but she has sold a couple of them. I'll give her that. But,
I sold
But
Destiny.
she really hasn't
she hadn't had the chance to
had an option, really, because she knows the boys are going into the freezer or being sold to someone to go in the freezer. So,
What choice do I really have?
like I said, she's up and moving pretty good already, and she can run already. I've already seen that.
until she gets
took off.
into the mud.
Yeah. It's that time of year where it's 71 day, and I back drag all of this area and get it nice and leveled out, and then think I can get it dried out. The next day we have thunderstorms, and like this morning it dropped down to, it was below 30 today with the wind chill, so that kind of took most of that back away. Then it got up to about 60, and then tomorrow we're going to be at like low 70s. So, and then we got rain and stuff coming again the rest of the week, I guess. But they always say around here that the April showers bring May flowers, so we'll see. I do see some progress out there in the pasture where it's starting to green up, so it won't be too much longer, and I'll actually, when I get a chance, we'll get out there and we'll put up a temporary fence across the center section of that to force them to stay up here. I don't want to force them into this muddy area too much, but I also need that back section to grow, so I need to get some growth on it before they get after it, because they like that juvenile grass when it very first starts growing, and they like to eat it, and then they'll keep biting on it until it basically just tears it up. So we need to make sure it gets up past that juvenile stage before we let them back into that section again. So we'll tighten them up a little bit, give it a couple of weeks or so, and then open it back up and let them go back out there just to make sure we don't get it down too far. So we've still got, I put that bale out just a few minutes ago, and I got 2 more in here, and then I got plenty of square bales to make it through. So I'll try and get this all, when we get another dry spell, my plan is to get this leveled back out again and get some seed on it, and then we'll try and get this area up here growing as well. So I'm going to try and play the germination time frame, so I want to fence that back section off a little bit ahead of the game to get that to start growing. That way I can come up here and start a little bit of the seed prep on this, and then I can sow the seed in right about the time that it'll start to germinate is when I want them off of it back here, to because a lot of people will say, well, you need them off of it while it's germinating. Well, I'll run through here, and I'm not going to actually put the seed in the ground. I'm going to let them put the seed in the ground for me, so I'll be able to get that accomplished by letting them trample it. So as long as I can firm the ground up enough to get that accomplished, we will. But Michaela has come up with a name. We use a lot of Native American names around here, or like ice cream toppings. So we have like Hershey and chocolate and sundae and.
Well, sundae's more of an ice cream instead of an ice
cream
topping.
But so we come up with a couple of names today, and the one that Michaela ended up picking is
it's a girl's Indian name, and it's called Melia. I think that's how you pronounce it. So we looked it up, and it's actually Meli, and it's an Indian name for daughter, Meli. Give me a minute. There's a bunch of
the
dust.
Some dust is moving. So. All right, so that was the name that she came up with. So actually, when we go to register her, it'll be chocolates Meli, or however we say that. We'll make sure we look that up and make sure the pronunciation on that's correct. But
basically, it means chocolate's daughter.
Yep. And if we can't find it by using the internet on exactly how to pronounce it, worst case scenario, we have a Connor Prairie is pretty close to us, and it's a interactive museum basically, and they have a Native American out there that we go out there and talk to every once in a while, and we'll go out there and ask him and make sure that we have the name and the pronunciation correct on it. So like I said, mom and baby are doing fine, and everybody's safe and sound. She's actually starting to eat, so she's over by the hay.
Baby's laying out in the sun.
She did, like I said, she let me get out there and pick it up to weigh it. That's one of the things about handling the cattle as much as we do, and making sure that they're friendly with us. So far to date, I've never had a trouble with a mama calf. I'm trying to get out there and get their birth weights on them, and when we go to tag them or any of that stuff, so far I've been lucky and never had an issue. But I've got a pretty good relationship with all of them that we have here, and honestly, we did have one cow in the past, but she never ended up giving birth. She got pregnant and started developing others. She was a Heifer Calf, and she charged after me one time, and I ended up getting rid of her. We took her off to the sale barn, and And that was right as we were starting to have kids back then. So the kids were actually never around her at that age, really. So, I mean, they seen her a few times, but they were never like they are now, where we let them out there with the cows. So for some people, that type of cow might work. Where you turn them out in the pasture and that's all you're going to do with it. But for what we do and how I want things around here, that I don't tolerate that. So if I can't touch the cow or calf or bull or whatever it is that's out here, and at least show some trust from the animal to me and me to the animal, then they don't need to be here. We'll have to move them on in one fashion or another. But just trying to make sure it's safe for us to do what we need to do, but also, giving a good environment for the animal to live in as well. So we hope you guys enjoy the videos. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share on social media with all your family and friends, and we'll see you guys tomorrow.